Hi, in this video on OpenCV using my BeagleBoard, I continue where I left last time, which is with changing the color space, blue, green, red versus UE saturation and value. Last time I tried to pick the color value and see what the values are. However, that didn't work out. I tried it again with blue, which did work out, but for some reason this color is untraceable, and this is a color range. So what I did now, or what I'm trying to do now, is to actually determine the range of values in which the color should lie. Noticing it is RGB, this, but I need to do BGR. In spreadsheet from LibreOffice, I've put 5 values that I probed, and then I have the BGR colors. So when I look at this, I'm not quite sure how to do this, because these are the separate colors. However, some those colors do not always have the same amount, so, or the same, who knows what color this may be. I could try, of course, then again that's an experiment, which I love, by the way, but let me just try with this range, see where it leads to. So that is 109, 94 and 68. Oops. Let me go back to this one and that one, but I have to be here. So 109, then 94 and 6. No, it's BGR, so it's 68. It's picky. 68. Then 94 and 109. 94, 109, and then with the other BGR 74, 191. So 74, 191, and 226. So let's see what happens with this attempt. If anything. Okay. Totally no result. So the next attempt is to pick actually the lowest and the highest value, which means 69, 94, 109. Let's see, 69, 94. And 109. And the other is highest value 70191 to the 6. Little change, but who knows what the result is. Something just might happen. But unfortunately nothing does happen. No. What I also can do is start this program using hold on. Proc 17, of course. And then I should try with H. But unfortunately it shows entirely black. And next, they both show entirely black, so this experiment unfortunately doesn't work out for the brown color. So I have to find out another thing, probably in value, but who knows what I find. Because those values are not giving the right result, I start wondering why these values do give the desired result. So what is more logical than probing the blue colors? So I probed the blue color, and these are the values that pop up, which are not in any way consistent with the values here, which raises the question, how do these values work to deliver the blue border? And yes, this is some kind of example. On the other hand, if this works, why doesn't this work? Apparently this is blue, then, and this is quite consistent, of course, because 25500 is very consistent with this. So this is BGR. However, this is quite the opposite, 255 255. So I may do something like here. Let me go to the spreadsheet. Do the opposite from what is happening here. And then the question is, of course, which are the opposite numbers? And yeah, maybe that's a calculation or whatever. but I think that is the way I should look. Here it is 0, here it is maximum. So from 255 deduct maybe 94 and deduct 109 and so on and so on. So maybe that is the way to go. Otherwise this is not explaining why this is working, and that is weird. So let's give that a try. So the idea is to make up for these values somehow, and that with respect to these values somehow. And then I get to the chosen max and minimum values. So maybe this will help, and this is RGB, so I have to reverse the numbers. So 7 and 69 stay the same. 70 and 69, which means that this becomes 64. Which is, by the way, 255 minus 191, and the last one becomes 29. No clue if it is going to work, but we will see. Then the this is supposed to be the 69 value. Yes. So I have to take 161 no 161, and what was the other one? 146, and then with the max value, that is 64.29. So 64 and 29, if I remember correctly. Yes. So let's see if this works. No. Hold on. Go away. I have to do this. Right. Will it or won't it? It won't. Okay. This means that I have to figure out something more than this. And what the more is, I actually have no idea. The 25500 is this, which is very clear. But apparently this is not the reverse of it. Let me try. And oh, by the way, I did try 255 in the HSV value range, and in that range these values are maximum 100. So that these are not the apparent HSV values that I could use, but this isn't working either. So whichever this is, I may have to look at the internet for a viable solution, because I find this intriguing why some things are not the way I thought they were. And what's more fun than experimenting? So let's get on. Quite interestingly, when looking for brown on Wikipedia, it states which colors are mixed for getting brown, but it also states the HSV values, and those are 30, 100 and 59. So when I look at those values, I of course have to ignore those. So let's check for a moment on here. Brown in its various colors should be then 150. That is RGB, of course, so BGR is 150, 75 and 0, if that is correct. Now looking a little bit down, some shades of brown, so this stays an absolute gamble. And here it says that RGB is normalized to 0 to 225, which is a byte. And CMYK is normalized to 100, but I'm not using that, I'm using BGR, which I assume is also normalized to a byte. So that is quite interesting. But still, the question is, if I look to here, okay, let me change it again to brownish. Where's the 150? Okay, let's go to the spreadsheet again. This should be BGR. Very different values indeed. So I wonder if even this is going to lead me somewhere. Like RGB is red and green mixed. So if I just play with that, and let's say this is 150 ish, the green is 75 ish. Okay, that looks like something. And the blue is 0-ish, which is indeed quite brown. And by lighten it, that gets redder. And the question, see how these are 163 and 110. And if I look here, these are not the same values. but blue here is completely zero. Oops. And here blue is not zero. So that may also be the problem, that I have to put these to zero. So in one last test, for now, I put these to zero. No, here. And see what that gives. Who knows? Okay. Let's hit it again. No luck. So I think I will end the experiment for this time. But it gets interesting and more interesting. So for now, once again, thank you for watching. And certainly to be continued, because these experiments are quite interesting.